So I wanted to become a lawyer because when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the TV show The Practice. Bowen Yang wanted to become a doctor because he was obsessed with Sandra Oh in Grey's Anatomy. Unfortunately, we both became actors. I met Bowen when we were in college, coming up in the comedy scene at NYU. I was in the sketch comedy group, and Bowen was in the improv group. We both shared some obvious identifiers that made us the onlys amongst our comedy peers, but alongside our overlap, Bowen was also the only student stealing every show while also studying pre-med. Bowen was then and is still always my favorite performer. Yes, because he is and always has been singularly hilarious, deadpan and full of revelry all at once, magical hands, inexplicably a natural. But undoubtedly, it was also because when I was watching him then at 18 years old, knowing that both of us onlys had no idea what we were doing and had close to no role models to look to for a path forward in this thing that we loved, I felt so inspired and comforted in witnessing him shine even then, that no matter what happened to us, I would always take heart in knowing there was a Bowen ahead of his time, reclaiming what it meant to be Asian, gay, and yes, also funny. Luckily, things turned out all right. No, he did not become a doctor, but since then, Bowen Yang has become a writer, an Emmy nominee, a co-host on the legendary award-winning podcast Las Culturistas, a leading man, and of course, the first ever Chinese American on Saturday Night Live. Yeah! Where he has been, thankfully, yes, a doctor, but also he has been an Oompa Loompa, Elton John, an iceberg, and even a straight man, just to name a few. I am so excited for the next generation of artists who can now say they want to be a comedian, an actor, a gay Oompa Loompa, or a hands-down star, because they now have Bowen Yang and the path he's paving to look to. It's my absolute honor to recognize Bowen tonight as the true game changer he is and always has been.
Wow, thank you to Stephanie for those words. Steph has known me for so long that she has seen me so college drunk that my face has been the same color as this sign. And I think I'm like halfway to that tonight. I'm so lucky to know you. I love you, Steph. Thank you. Oh, that's okay. No problem. I am so humbled by the company of all the other esteemed honorees tonight. Christian, Peng, Chai, Jimmy, Norman. I believe we're now contractually obligated to start a mahjong league, I think. I think that's the game and Game Changer. I kind of know like Hong Kong rules, so I can teach you guys. You know, when I came into this world and chose to be Asian, and I had my pick of the litter, and by litter I mean ethnicities, never did I think I would win an award for it, and certainly not from a society of other voluntary Asians. And for all the non-Asians in the room, there is still time to become one of us. All you have to do is join us in the fight to destigmatize MSG. Obviously, I'm kidding. I don't think being Asian is a choice. It's a threat. No, I honestly think that being Asian is a wonderful stroke of luck, and I think so much of what has brought me here tonight has to do with that luck. As it was mentioned, if my parents hadn't moved from China in the late 80s during the one-child policy, I would not have been born as the younger of two children. If I hadn't grown up seeing people like Margaret Cho and B.D. Wong succeed in entertainment, I would not have wanted to pursue careers like theirs. If If I hadn't moved to New York, I would not have met people like Stephanie and formed a community of actors and writers and comedians that prepared me for my job at SNL, which then opened so many other doors for me. And all of these things feel like such fragile happenstance, and I really am convinced that if one of those things had like teetered off the edge, my whole life would have been completely different. My good fortune knows no bounds. Growing up, whenever my family traveled to different cities, my parents were here, we would always skip any actual sightseeing because all my parents cared about was taking me and my sister to the various Chinatowns of this country. And back then our eyes would roll and we would beg them to take us to like the Hard Rock Cafe or like the studio where they shot Oprah or something. But now, growing up, I really love them for doing that. I understand that what they were doing was searching for community wherever they went, because finding that is a very lucky thing too. And since I've gone to so many Chinatowns, I am going to rank them. Actually, no, I will. Okay, hold on, let's do this. This is not on the prompter. Chicago, not great. Sorry to Chicago. Let's see. I'm gonna say Boston, too close to the train station, not good. DC, too clean, but I think that beats out Boston. I'm gonna say New York, close second to San Francisco. The Bay people, you guys have the best Chinatown. It's hands down. I'm sorry, it brings me no pleasure to say this as a New Yorker. Anyway, from all the Chinatowns I've been to, thank you for indulging me in that, by the way. From all the Chinatowns I've been to, I've learned that to be Asian is to immediately understand the expanse of all things. Being part of an Asian identity is so broad that you are very aware of how you're sharing the world with other people. That awareness is a very lucky thing to have, and that expansiveness is a very lucky thing to experience. One of my grandmothers had her feet bound as a little girl, and then the other grandmother witnessed atrocities of the Japanese invasion leading up to World War II, and then in just 2 generations, our family has hurdled the expanse of the world, and I am the luckiest beneficiary of that journey. I want to thank Steph for being here and supporting me. I want to thank my parents, who I love so much. I want to thank Olivia Gerke and Molly Kawachi, my team, who are the best at what they do, and they also happen to be Asian, and those 2 things seem incidental to each other, which I love so much. And I'm also very lucky that there are enough Asians in front of and behind the camera now that my parents have turned competitive about it. Because they constantly wonder why I don't wear anything as nice as Ronnie Cheng's suits. So I hope tonight makes them very happy. Thank you so much to Asia Society. You all have good fortune. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.